We're going to meet some friends on the beach, and there's this bar that we've been to a few times. They sell this, it's like a risotto, and it's made with octopus. I'm not kidding you, it's amazing. I don't think we're gonna have much luck. We're trying to get parked here at the beach, but it's so full. I think everybody's had the same idea. Luckily, we got a space, probably the last one in the entire car park. That's 3 times we've been to that place, and it's always been really great. Guys, I wanted to talk about that bar that we had lunch. That is an amazing place that we've been 3 times now, and we've been totally satisfied every single time. It's called Bar du Allemand, which means bar of the German bar, something like that. It's a really great place to eat, and I think actually it's one of my favourite places in Vitoria at the moment to sit by the beach and have lunch. Like, they have this thing called pastels. If you're not from Brazil, you probably don't know what pastels are, but it's basically like a pastry that's been deep fried, and inside it's filled with either seafood or meat. The ones we had are filled with prawns, and they were delicious. Yeah, if you come to this part of Brazil, look for Bar du Allemand, and it is at the beach of Praia do Curva do Jurema. Good stuff. Unfortunately, it's back to reality this afternoon because we need to go to the supermarket. We've got nothing in the house to eat. We need to make a bit of a list of the things we need, but definitely a bit healthier this time. I think less chocolate and all that kind of stuff, and more fruit juice, vegetables. Let's see how that goes. We never come to the supermarket without buying this. We eat so much of it. If there's one example of what is much more expensive here in Brazil than anywhere else in the world, it's Nutella. Check that out. Okay, fruit and veg. Time to get healthy. Oh yeah! Well, that was a stress-free trip to the supermarket. I'd say the key to supermarket tranquility is avoid the rush hour. I think the worst part of shopping is when you come home and you have to put everything away again. I've decided to get my bike and go for a cycle. Not cycling would be the lazy thing to do. And since I'm on a health trip at the moment, can't forget to turn the sports tracker app on. I like to keep track of my fitness nowadays. Tonight I want to address a question which a lot of people have asked me, which is Brazil a dangerous place? It's quite a difficult one to answer, to be honest. You know, there's a lot of parts to it. But my answer would be quite straightforward. I mean, right now, for example, it's night here in Brazil, and I am out on my own cycling. And I do this every single night. I go for a cycle on my own. So you have to ask yourself, is that something that you would do in the city where you live? Think about New York or London. I mean, I remember I used to live in London and I certainly wouldn't go cycling on my own at night. I feel quite comfortable here. But at the same time, there's going to be people who are coming to the Olympics from all around the world who are going to look at statistics and say, yeah, lots of crazy things happen in Brazil. And it's true. You know, people do get mugged. What I'd say is not to be complacent, that's for sure. I'm certainly not complacent despite the fact that I think it's safe here. You just have to keep an eye out, know where you're going. It's better if you understand or speak a tiny little bit of Portuguese. The most obvious thing is not to go around looking too flashy. You know, but that's just common sense. But I'd say Brazil's not that dangerous. Not in my opinion. I know that where I live here in Vitória, if the stats will tell you, Vitória is actually one of the most dangerous cities in the whole world. Vitória consistently ranks, you know, within the top 25 most dangerous cities in the world. But those stats are flawed, if you ask me, because they count police on drug dealer killings, they count drug dealer on other drug dealer killings, so I don't know how accurate that is. But anyway, that's my opinion. You know, I'm happy to go out at night alone here in Brazil, cycling, and that's not something you'd be comfortable doing in every city in the world. But if you are coming to Brazil during the Olympics this year, Rio de Janeiro is an amazing city, and I've vlogged a lot from there. I love it there. And you will hear horror stories about Rio. There's things happen there as well, but don't let it put you off. You know, just keep an eye on who's around you, and you'll be fine and you'll love it. I've had my cycle and I'm feeling a bit knackered, so I'm going to go home. Listen, do not forget to hit subscribe down below. I will very much greatly appreciate it.